Anyway, Walter, what was the name?
Matthews.
Matthews will be out in just a moment to join us and tell you about his part in the picture. Because he talks like this most of the time.
That he does.
We'll be back. All right, here is the co-conspirator in this picture. I think between both of us, we've given him really enough of an introduction, don't you?
Yeah, probably.
He's a superb actor. Walter Matthau. Thank you, Walter. Walter, come back here. Walter. Sit down and talk, Walter.
My wife said, don't tell any toilet jokes on the...
You still remember the earthquake
Don't tell
story,
any toilet jokes on the Johnny Carson show. And the guy came out, one of the cops came over, he just told me a toilet joke.
Don't do it.
I'm going to try and tell it, see if I clean it up a little.
All right.
3 old guys sitting around, convalescent home. One guy says, if I could just do number 1. I mean, if I could do like a strong number 1, like, you know, not in dribs and drabs. The second guy says, if I could do a good number 2, I mean, a solid 1, you know, if the squeeze and it comes out, you know, it's terrible. Third guy says, I do wonderful number 1, like torrential rains in Pango Pango, like the Mississippi River. He says, that's at 7:30 every morning. And 7:35 in the morning, I have a wonderful number 2. He says, like Mount St. Helens. He says, this is erupting. That's at 7:35 in the morning. So the other guy says, he says, so what are you complaining about? He says, well, I don't get out of bed till 9.
I thought this guy.
I'm glad you did that here before you did it on Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. I mean, which, you know, you're guesting on next week. Did you hear? That's a funny story. That is a funny story. Did you hear what your friend here was calling you?
Matthews.
Supporting actor, Mr. Matthews, and so forth.
He's a brilliant director, by the way.
Is he really now?
Yes.
Yeah.
I am?
Much better director than he is an actor. I've seen his work.
Yeah.
He is a brilliant director. That's the best picture I ever did. Koch.
Yes, sir.
You ever see it?
Yes, I did.
That he directed?
Yes, I certainly did. I've seen every picture you've ever made. I have probably seen practically every picture you've ever made, and also Jack.
You have?
Maybe not every one. Just try me.
You're not that old.
Well, I'm almost.
Did you see Voice in the Mirror with Richard Egan and Julie London?
I have that on tape in my library. No, that was one of your earlier pictures, right?
That was an earlier.
Uh-huh. But any of your good stuff I've seen. Well, you admit yourself, by the way you said that, was not a blockbuster, right?
No. As a matter of fact, I've done about 4 good pictures.
Oh, come on now.
Maybe 5.
6.
Would you believe 6?
Is that one you just mentioned one of the ones you would rather forget? Everybody's got a few in their...
Oh, no. No, I like to argue with directors, and I remember this particular picture I was arguing with, I think it was Harry Keller was directing. And finally he said to me, would you leave me alone? I'm really a cutter. And I said, okay. So I left him alone. But Richard Egan said, you see, Matthau is a New York actor. He likes to argue. And I've never been able to get used to the fact that a group of people get together to make what is supposed to be a creative work of art.
Yeah.
And they don't know each other. They simply get together.
Right.
You're rarely introduced to your fellow artists. And so I wanted to start some kind of a commotion in this so that I could get to know Julie London and Richard Egan.
Does this help you work better if you work a little bit off a crisis?
Huh?
Yes,
I'm serious. A lot of people have to work close to the edge, they say, or walk along a tightrope.
Absolutely. Absolutely. The fact that you come in and you don't know someone is it's dreadful. He's sleeping.
You know what's happening, don't you?
Oh, yeah, he's sleeping.
The old upstaging bit. He's downstage and he's
I know.
taking it away.
The poor guy has to do something.
That's right. He's doing all the little... You're sitting here trying to be serious, and he's playing to the audience.
No,
you ever do that?
what I did was, with Harry Keller, I said, wait a minute. I says, I can't say that alcoholism is an incurable disease. Let's say that it's a disease for which medical science has not yet found a cure. Mm-hmm. And Julie London said, oh, well, that's a lot of baloney because I happen to have a friend who is an alcoholic and it is an incurable disease and so forth. And I got her angry, and that, I think, is what I wanted to do, because
right.
Then I got to know, then we spoke about it,
yeah.
and we began to look at each other and know each other a little better.
Right. In other words, just walk on cold and not have...
Yeah. Yeah.
He's doing terrible things over there. We're trying to have a serious discussion.
He can do it. He can do anything he wants
art
to.
of filmmaking here.
This kid can do anything he wants.
Right. Right.
Lemon.
Let me do a word from one of our sponsors here, and we'll come back. We're back. We're talking with Walter Matthau and Jack Levin. Talking with Sacco and Vanzetti here. Let's go way back. I saw a picture of you in the paper the night before last. You were at a function in tuxedo, and you were wearing what a lot of people have worn at one time or another, one of those cervical collars. You were walking around like this. Is everything all right?
It hurts every once in a while.
Yeah.
During the picture, I had to slide down a laundry chute. I had to throw him down the laundry chute to escape from the cops. And it looked like a fairly simple job. It was about 4 feet.
Right.
And the grade wasn't more than about 15%. And we're supposed to land on a bunch of mattresses. And the mattresses are on top of a scaffold, which is about 10 feet high. I didn't realize that it was on a scaffold. I simply thought I'd hit the mattress, and that was it. Mm-hmm. Well, I kiddingly said to the director, Billy Wilder, I said, no, I can't do that. You want me to throw Lemon in there? The poor guy will get killed. He said, no. This is easy. Just do it. Listen to me. Don't argue, please.
How would Billy say that? Couldn't he say?
No, I said, no, please, don't. You know, he talks with a Stuttgart accent.
Thanks, all right.
I said, well, let me test it out. I went down, and the thing is that when I was a kid, I was always afraid of those sliding gadgets. What do you call them?
Slides.
Sliding ponds?
Call them slides.
Slides. I was always afraid of that, and
Slides.
And I used to hold on like this, and this is what I did. I didn't want him to go first, because he wouldn't be here now. He'd be dead. And I hit the mattress and went head up in the air. It acted like a trampoline, and landed on here, busted a few bones, separated the clavicle here, and there I was in the most severe pain. I was in such pain that when the prop man came down, I know he carries a gun, and I said to him, Joe, please, shoot me.
That's painful. That's very painful.
It was that painful. Lemon was white as a ghost. He ran down, and he took off his jacket, and he rolled his jacket up, and he put it under my head, and he said, are you comfortable? And I said, I make a nice living.
I've got a few dollars. You're going to look at me with a straight face and do that, aren't you?
No, what I really said, no, that's a joke. But what I really said was, that's a joke.
Yeah.
But what I really said was, Jack, It's curtains.
Yeah.
You really thought?
That's what I said. I never expected to live more than another 10 minutes after that.
Are you serious?
Oh, yeah. Oh, I was in the most vile pain. Just terrible.
But the marvelous thing is he loves the English language and the use of the English language correctly. I mean, you know, he, like in the dressing room earlier this evening, he was saying, what was that marvelous word you came up
Oh,
with?
the tautological things. I have them right here.
Tautological
things.
And if a writer writes
Baby
a cliche...
puppies. Baby puppies. It's tautological, repetitious.
Anyway.
Tautological. Baby puppies.
It's also redundant, right?
Redundant.
Yes.
Anyway, the point is he is so hip, and if a writer writes a cliche, you know, some phrase that you normally hear, which is what we always fall back on in an emergency, and that's how it becomes a cliche, he goes crazy. But I swear to God, I leaned over him, and my face was this way, his face was back like that, and the man was writhing in pain. He had his hand on his heart, and I thought, oh, my God, this is it, you know. I really thought, frankly, that Walter was dying. And I couldn't believe it when he looked up at me and he stopped the moaning suddenly. He looked up and he said, "It's curtains." I couldn't believe that he would say it, but he did.
Well, I don't think I said it with that much emotion, Jack.
Walter and Jack, the Happiness Boys. Thank you both for being here. I hope Buddy Buddy is a big hit for you.
Thank you.
And for Billy Wilder also. Thanks for being with us.
The squeeze, and it comes out, you know, it's terrible. Third guy says, I do wonderful #1, like torrential rains in Pango Pango, like the Mississippi River. He says, that's at 7:30 every morning. And 7:30, I mean, if I could do like a strong #1, like, you know, not in dribs and drabs. The second guy says, if I could do a good #2, I mean, a solid one, you know,
Anyway, Walter, what was the name?
Matthews.
Matthews will be out in just a moment to join us and tell you about his part in the picture. Because he talks like this most of the time. That he does. We'll be back. All right, here is the co-conspirator in this picture. I think between both of us, we've given him really enough of an introduction, don't you?
Yeah, probably.
He's a superb actor. Oh, Walter.
My wife said, don't tell any toilet jokes on the...
You still remember the
Don't
earthquake
tell
story,
any toilet jokes on the Johnny Carson show. And the guy came out, one of the cops came over, and he just told me a toilet joke.
Don't do it.
I'm going to try and tell it, see if I clean it up a little.
All right.
3 old guys sitting around, convalescent home. One guy says, if I could just do #1.
Walter Matthau. Thank you, Walter. Walter, come back here. Walter. Sit down and talk.